Hey everyone, Tapdog here with Little Alchemist Helper, and today we got an update in the shop. Now, you might not have it in your app update store just yet, but you will very, very soon. But this update is very, very big, very massive, and this is going to be a change to the upgrading and the recycling and searching and sorting and filtering. So I wanted to kind of talk about it, go through it, show you guys it, and let you know a little bit more about it. So I was one of the lucky handful of people who got to test this ahead of time. I didn't record anything at that time in case they made any changes. I haven't actually looked at it yet since they pushed it live right now, but I just wanted to kind of go through it with you guys, show you how it works. So they made a lot of changes, and primarily it's going to be in that upgrade cards section. So I'm going to go over here, and what you'll notice is, first off, it's kind of got a little bit rearranged here. Let me pull up my other game real quick and show you guys how that looks on that side, and then we'll compare and contrast the differences on these. So give me 2 seconds. Gotta wait for my player ID to pop off the screen. Okay, perfect. So here is how it looks in the current live game before the update. You'll notice there's a little search bar here on the top of your screen that you can just type in the name of a card and you'll find it. Or you can click on sort, and the sort just has these basic things that you can choose to sort. So now in the new update, it's very different. First, there's a filter button there instead of a search button. And then the next one is the suggestions area where it used to have a sort. So if you click on that filter button, it opens up a whole new window here, and you can filter by all of these various items. Now, one of the things I want to see is if you click on any of those cards up above, so like the letter B for bronze, it will only show you bronze cards that you have in your upgrade ability. So cards here that I'm able to get rid of. Let me see if I click on B again. Unfortunately, one of the biggest suggestions we had was if you click on B again, it should let you select all of the cards, but that does not happen. So if you do select one of these cards and you want to select all of them again, just click the reset filter button that's on the bottom there, and it'll put them all back on there. So you can search by rarity, or sort by rarity, or filter by rarity. Filter, that's the right word. Filter by rarity. So if I want to look at just all my silver cards I have, I can click on that, and it'll show me all my silver cards. If I wanted to look at just my gold cards, I could click on that one. It'll show me the gold cards I own. Same thing for diamond, and same thing for onyx cards. The other thing you can do is filter by level. So let's say I wanted to just look at the level 1 cards that I own. I can do that. But you can also add on the extra thing. Okay, maybe I want to recycle cards that I have here. So I want to look at, first off, let me go to the recycle page. So let's say, I'm going to reset the filter just in case, but I want to look at my level 1 cards that are just bronze or silver. And then I click here, and it'll show me any cards that meet that criteria. So it makes it a whole lot easier to dust because the cards I want to keep aren't shown here. The other thing you can do is also, didn't mean to do that. You can add in additional cards. So maybe I want to look at my level 2s or 3s, 4s, or 5s. Unfortunately, I don't have any of those. I do have fused cards here for silvers, but that's just kind of a little different thing there. And if you're midway through, you can actually click on just one card. So let's say I had both of those selected. I can click, or all 3 of these selected. I can just click on number 2 and 3. Oh no, I guess it only works if you have them all selected. That's weird. If you have them all selected, you can just choose one card, and it'll focus on that number specifically. Okay, so that's a little bit of this filter. You can also sort it by if it's a combo card or a final form card, which could be useful if you're on the upgrade screen. So let me go to upgrade here, and let's say, okay, I want to find additional cards I want to add to my heroics deck, and I don't necessarily know what is what on here. So I can go here and filter. I just want to look at my diamond cards that are level 1, and then I can actually choose the ability here and say I want to see all my critical strike cards that I have. So now I have this filtered out to just show me critical strike cards that are level 1, and then what I can do is actually start this any way I wanted to. So it's sorted A to Z. It would be nice if they were able to sort this by card attack or card defense here, because then I could sort this and look for that. That was another suggestion I gave them, but it looks like they did not add that, at least in this update here. But what you do have down here is you can look at sorting by attack and defense or the total power. So maybe I want to say I want to look for cards that have a starting attack that is at least 15 or 16 and above. Yeah, let's do 16 and above. Okay. So I do that because that would be 32. And then here's all my cards that meet that criteria, and then I can choose if I want to level one up or not. But it would still be nice in the search and sort if I could actually sort this by that, by the attack number here. But let me go up to 18 and above here. So now here's ones that I would actually consider adding. Unfortunately, I already have 3 copies of Man-Eaters and Mad Bomber, and I only have 1 extra copy of Black Widow to use, so I can't really do that. But I think I already have 3 copies of Black Widow anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But so that's just another example of something that you can use this for to help you find cards for your heroics to upgrade or to recycle specific cards. But it's not just here in the upgrade area that happens. It also is available in the research area. Now, I'm researching cards right now, and I don't think I want to spend $25 to learn that, but I'm going to for this video. So you guys, just so you know, I'm spending $25 here just so I can see if they made any changes to this page. So if I go here, it's still A to Z, Z to A, newest, oldest, and in current deck. There was a lot of suggestions I had specifically for this page, and it looks like that was not taken into account, unfortunately. It does look like, you know what they did though? They only are showing 1 copy of each card here, so that is different. Right now it says it's sorted A to Z, or I can do Z to A or A to Z, but it's just 1 individual copy of each card here. So that does make it easier to filter through here and look at them all, and it looks like it's showing your highest leveled version, because like Blood and Blob I only have a level 1 of, but Affliction I have level 4s for it. So that is interesting. It's just showing your highest leveled version of that card, so that will make it easier to sort through here, so that's nice. But if I click on Affliction, let's see, it's going to show me just a single copy of each card. Now that's a little bit frustrating for me, because I typically will search for researching cards I have multiple copies of. So now I'm going to need to know I have 3 copies of Space, but I only have 2 copies of Speed. So, you know, or things like that. So that makes it a little bit harder here, challenging to be able to do that. That's... I understand why they made this change to make it easier to search through here, but that does make it harder for making your priorities here. Now, the other thing I had suggested was adding in something here showing the research time it would take, and it doesn't look like they added that on this page, because I thought it'd be nice if you could sort by research time, allowing you to do your diamond combos first, but that's not here, unfortunately. But the other thing that's cool on here is you can actually, if you're working on a card that's getting added to your arena deck, so it's, you know, your smaller deck that's only got 30 cards in it, you can go over to this suggestion area here and just say, I want to see cards that are in my current deck. And so then it'll show you, here's all the cards that are in your current deck, and here is that combo card. Now, one of the bugs that I told them about, and it looks like that is still happening here, is it is showing your learned research here, which that should not show on this screen. So I'm hoping they'll get rid of that in the future. But it should just show cards that when you click on in current deck, it should come over here to the ones that I've not researched first. That should be their priority. And then these cards should show up at the end of the list. That way you don't have to scroll through. So maybe that's just a hiccup in the coding that needs to be adjusted or changed. But that was something I had suggested to them as well. So let me go back here. I'm just going to pick something to research real quick. Put that on. All right. The other thing they changed was in the archive here. So they did put into the archive the same features. Now, I had suggested to them to keep the search button as in the top down here, because in the archive typically you are searching for a specific card. You're not using the archive for the same purposes as upgrading or researching. You're trying to find a specific card, so you know the card name, so you just want to search for that. In this version, you have to click the filter button and then start typing up here in that search box, as compared to in the... oh, that's the wrong one. In the current game, let me go over here to the archive. You click on here, and you just search for the card name right away. Again, you just have the search button. You can start searching for that card here. Because in the archive, you're typically wanting to look for a specific card, and so that just adds an extra little step that's not necessarily needed. But it is what it is. Outside of that, there wasn't too many other changes here. Obviously, showing you A to Z, Z to A, your newest owned or your oldest owned, and then in your current deck. So that's all that is here. And then I do think they changed it a little bit here in the edit deck as well, which again, this is going to be useful if you're trying to find, if you go to your library and you wanted to add a new card, and maybe it's like, okay, let me see what Onyx cards I have that I can add to this deck, and then it'll show you your Onyx cards, and you can go through and determine. Again, it would be nice here if you could sort from the sort pile here, just strongest to weakest, or highest attack, highest defense, if you're looking for something like that. But again, you can just do that from here. I want to look at my final form cards, and I want to find cards that have an attack that is above 30. Okay, so I do that. Oh, I went to 31, but that's fine. So then I can see here's all my Onyx cards that have an attack above 30 that I can add in here. Or maybe I wanted to look at Diamond as well, and maybe I want to up this up to 34. Let's do 35 because there's a lot less of those. So then I can see, okay, here's all my 35 attacking cards that I can add in here, or do 36 or whatever I wanted to look at. So kind of gives you that option here, which is kind of nice. Other thing you can do too is, okay, let me reset this whole thing. I want to look at Onyx cards that I have that are combo cards that are fused. So here's all my fused Onyx combo cards that are not in my arena deck, and I might be able to make it a little bit easier to find them. Now granted, for myself, when I use the optimizer, I'll just have my list of here's all the cards I need to add to my deck, and then I'll just search for them alphabetically. But this could be useful for people who maybe wanted to see these cards just by themselves and filter out all the rest. You'd have the ability to do that with this. So anywho, that is... oh, we also have our fourth deck slot. That's the other massive news here. So let me see what they put in that fourth deck. It's probably an auto-filled deck, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is an auto-filled deck. So the first thing you want to do when you get this new deck 4, turn autofill off, because that does have the ability to cause some issues in your game. So turn off autofill. If it's on in any of your decks, turn it off. But we have a fourth deck slot now. So this is the other important news and change to this game. For the longest time, we've only had 3 deck slots, and typically what I've recommended is, you know, 1 slot is for your arena deck, 1 slot is for your heroics deck, and then that 3rd slot, because there's no way to just kind of keepsake your cards or hold on to them so they don't get recycled, that 3rd deck would be your save to not recycle by accident pile. So now that we have a 4th deck, you can use that for 2 different things. One, if you have more than 3 copies of a card that you want to save, you could use that 4th deck slot for your second junk drawer, in essence, to be able to have all those cards out. But because of all these changes they made to the filtering, I think it's going to be a little bit easier to recycle cards you don't want. So I would rather say deck 4 now can become your away deck. So this is going to be only useful for people who are probably in the legendary tiers of arena, but right now it's a pain to be able to switch the cards in your deck when you leave the game. But when you leave the game, whatever you've had set up as your deck slot when you exit the game is the deck slot that everyone else plays in the arena for you. So if you leave your account on Tiebreaker, people play a Tiebreaker version of your deck. If you leave your account on Lobotomizer, they play Lobotomizer, so on and so forth. So some people will change their away deck, like myself. I put it on to Master Healer, so that way when you battle me, I start with 65 health. Makes it a little bit harder to get me down enough for your critical strike card or your final form card to do enough damage to beat me. But with the ability to now have a 4th deck slot, you can actually make a away deck that's a little bit more challenging, because it can be uniquely made to frustrate your opponents. For example, you can put in Anna cards, which have a higher defense than most critical strikes. You can also put in Pims, which will counter attack or reflect the damage back to the opponent. So if they aren't ready for that, they can hurt themselves more than they hurt you. You can put in Veras, which will do a curse, meaning your opponent's attack doesn't damage you and you do damage to them, or very minimal damage is done to you. So there's a lot of different things you can throw in here. You can throw in Albert as well. He's not really great. He's a 30-30 curse, but he still could be useful. Or Miles, a 30-30 defense. So you'll probably see a lot more people getting tricky with their away decks. So you have to be careful, especially those players that have been around long enough that have all of these boss cards. So just be careful out there when you start playing in the arena. So that's the other big change in this update. Let me go to the news announcement section. I just want to make sure and see if there's anything else that they announced in this update. Then the other massive news is that the in the not the shop. Oh, there is a. Oh ho ho. Wait. This is something we weren't ready for. Is it just going to stop at villain, or do we have all the new cards in here too after villain? Nope. Bummer. This vault was not announced. So that's something new to know about. And the armory is also in here, so that's kind of fun. Daily steals are still here. But what I was going to say is the recycling has been updated. Oh, this just persists. You have to reset to see. Okay, so previously, when you went to recycle, you could only recycle 50 cards at a time. Now it is up to 100. So that is great news. I have not seen if they remove the animation, though, because if it's 100 cards that you can recycle, but they are all still going to take a second or two to show up on the screen to recycle one by one, that doesn't change anything. So I'm hoping they got rid of the animation or sped it up, because it's actually going to be a step backwards in my mind if they kept that around. So I don't have cards to really test that with. I guess I can. Let me click on to recycle here. Oh, it's a different filter for each one of those. That's fun. If I do gold, I know I have some gold that I could recycle. I don't think I want to recycle most of these cards, though, but I could recycle some of these. Let me just recycle the final form ones that I have here that are gold, just to see how this works. These are ones from the mutant pack that just came back into the shop that I don't need them, so I've already got plenty of copies of them. I just bought the pack, so I hadn't had a chance to go through them. I think all the rest of these are in decks, so I don't want to recycle them, but I'm just checking through one more time to make sure I didn't have anything here. Okay, so let's click recycle and see. Yeah, see how it chooses each one by one? That's really slow, especially if you choose 100 cards. Going to take a really long time to go through all those. So I was hoping they would have gotten rid of that one by one, showing it up into the recycling, and just instantly recycle them all. So hopefully they'll make that change in the future. But that is something else that we have here to mention. And then the other thing that they did was the dust. You can now have more than 1,000 as your limit. It actually is up to 10,000. So I think that's everything. And then the other most important thing is the arena. You can no longer spend gems to refill. So starting next season, that'll be a big impact on the arena. I'm so happy they made this change. The other change they put in here too is that your daily awards went from getting 40, 80, 120, 160, and 200 coins per day to now just being 100, 200, 300, 400, 500. So what that means is you went from getting roughly 600 coins in a week to getting 1,500 coins in a week of arena, 5-day cycle. So that's another nice, good change that they added in here. But I think that's pretty much everything from this update. The anniversary for the game is Still going strong. The actual date that the game came out was about 2 weeks from now on the 29th of November. So when that comes out, I think we'll probably see the anniversary pack come out at that time. Don't have too much information on that. I'm not privy to information on it, but it's looking like it'll be a good pack, and I'm excited for it. But I probably won't be able to review that when it comes out because they've changed the way that they store the data in the game, so I can't see card details. I can just see the card name and artwork. So I've seen that stuff. I'm not going to share that with you guys. I like to keep that spoiler free. But the card combo information and card data is not available. So when the pack goes live, I can't give you guys a review on the combo card. I'll be able to give you a review on everything else, but the combo card won't be able to help you with. I'm hoping Monumental will, when they push it live, will also tell us the combo list for the cards going forward. As a consumer, you need to be able to be informed on your decisions for your purchases. Not being able to know what combos a card makes is a disservice to the community. So I'm hoping they will at least give out that list once the combo card is live. If not, it's going to take us potentially weeks to gather that data internally from researching, having a bunch of people try to research different cards so we can find the combos, which is not helpful or useful for the game. A lot of people won't buy it if they don't know that information, so it's going to lose pack sales because of that. So I'm hopeful that they'll realize this and release card information when a new card comes out live, but we'll see. So anywho, that's everything from this new update. I'm really happy with these changes, and I like to see the improvements they're making. So good job, Monumental, and thank you for listening to us on this. All right, take care, everyone.